All right.
Okay. First case, Benedetta Beth Bentley. She goes by Beth. And I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing her first name right. Benedetta.
It looks like Benedetta.
Yeah. Her birth date was February 12th, 1969. Aged at time of disappearance was 41. She's a white female, 5'6", platinum blonde hair with extensions. Wearing, at the time of her disappearance, her clothing was a black tank top, blue jean skirt, flip-flops, white Gucci purse, pink and orange Vera Bradley bag, possibly wearing a silver Tiffany necklace and her wedding ring. She is married to Scott Bentley, who owns his own law firm in McHenry, Illinois. Beth worked at her husband's law firm with her very close friend Jennifer Wyatt. On May 20th, 2010, Bentley told relatives she was traveling to Wisconsin for a weekend trip with her close friend Jen. They didn't go to Wisconsin. Instead, they drove to Mount Vernon, Illinois, which is slightly local to us, like that way, where they met with Wyatt's boyfriend and others to spend the weekend dining and drinking at a nearby lake, which is what Wyatt told the Chicago Tribune back in 2011. Then on May 23rd, Wyatt, who was driving a 2009 white Nissan Altima, claims that she dropped Beth off at the Centralia Amtrak station across the street from it, and said she had no idea, like, where, in her initial statement, she didn't know where Beth was going to go or what she had planned to do. In another article, I think it was from WSIL, Channel 12, maybe, or no, that's KFVS. WSIL is Channel 3.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then KFVS is 12. I think it was WSIL, Channel 3, that said later that Jen made the comment that when she dropped Beth off at the Amtrak station in Centralia, she said that she was going to meet up with her boyfriend over in St. Louis and then make her way back to Chicago. Beth was from Woodstock, Illinois, up there. Mm-hmm. So neither Amtrak, it was supposed to be a 6 o'clock train too, yes. 6 p.m. train. Neither Amtrak nor the passengers that were interviewed, being present at the time, could verify, like, she didn't buy a ticket. They didn't have a ticket in Beth's name. No passengers remember seeing her at the Amtrak station in Centralia.
Surveillance footage, none?
There's no mention of it, so I'm not sure. There's not a whole lot of detail on this. When Beth didn't come back, her husband Scott called Jen Wyatt, and his stepson Jeremy Velmont, which would be Beth's son, I guess, I'm assuming there, told the Tribune in 2011 that he had heard Scott Bentley scream, "Where is she?" until Wyatt admitted the lie about their trip to Wisconsin and said she didn't know where Beth was. McHenry County courts show a record of Wyatt being indicted on charges of obstructing justice in 2012 for allegedly making false statements about taking Bentley to the train station. The charges were later dropped. In another, this might have been the KFVS 12 news article, they had a statement from Jen Wyatt, and they're saying, we're going to have to edit this.
There's no way.
That, that was the, I don't know. Anyway, skip that. We'll edit that piece out.
There went 4 viewers.
Shut up. The initial search concentrated on her last known whereabouts in Mount Vernon and Centralia. Okay, the early articles about this had little to no information about exactly what was going on because you had her friend Wyatt lying about everything, basically.
Yeah.
And then in December 2017, a McHenry County judge granted Bentley's family's request to have her declared dead.
Ah.
So, fast forward to, well, actually, a few days after that, in December 2017, charred human remains were found. I think it was December 14th that they found charred human remains in 2017.
Where at?
In a rural area of Jefferson County,
okay.
Illinois.
Yeah.
And that was in December 2017. On October 23rd, I think it was the New York Times or the New York, I think it was New York Times. It put out an article on Beth with some updates. Still pretty vague. They just said it was a rural area of Jefferson County, Illinois, in the same area from where she went missing, but still nobody knew where that area was. You know what I mean? Nothing had been made public. On the 22nd, the Illinois State Police issued a statement saying that the remains had been positively identified as Beth. And from what I could tell, I think that they were buried, even if it was shallow or at least covered up to some extent after she was burned.
I wonder how they found them in the first place.
There was a tip, I think. There was a tip.
A tip?
A tip. Something, a new tip or a development led them to.
Them.
Well, hang on. So, authorities remained like really kind of tight-lipped on it for a long time. They said the remains were severely burned. They were discovered close to where Bentley was last seen, but didn't go into further details. The county coroner wouldn't provide Beth's cause and manner of death to the paper pending further investigation. And at that time, in 2019, authorities had yet to identify any suspects in the case. So at the time of her disappearance, Bentley was busy working at her husband Scott's law firm and caring for her 3 sons. They talked to her prior neighbor, Angela Scott, who said that she was looking forward to several family events, including one son's high school graduation. So her neighbor, Angela, didn't think that she would give up any of that to just disappear or start a new life or anything. So the most recent article I could find was from May 2020, May 26, 2020. They gave a little bit more information about like the location and some information about who they were with. At the time of her disappearance, the 41-year-old Bentley and her friend had reportedly been visiting with 2 brothers from Woodstock, who at the time were staying at a home in the area where the remains were ultimately found. So then if you read further in this article, it's a very blip mention very quickly that it was near Saddle Club and Miller Lake Roads in Jefferson County, Illinois.
Gotcha.
So I'm not familiar with that area. I don't go that way. Like the closest I have to that area is like Wren Lake.
Gotcha.
Or whatever, like north, like in Cesar. You know what I mean?
We live in Southern Illinois, by the way, and Stillville, Illinois, actually. Way down.
Way down. So I Google mapped it basically, and I can't find like a Saddle Club road.
Gotcha.
Or a Miller Lake road. I can find east and west Saddle Club and east and west Miller Lake roads in Jefferson County, and I think we have a screenshot of both.
And they're rural roads, right?
Yeah, like kind of like county roads out, like coming.
Well, if you're local from down here, you know county roads can get kind of wonky.
Yeah.
Especially they'll start one way, start and stop, and they come back.
Yeah.
Like Shawneetown here.
Right. So, anyway, I'm not familiar with that whole area, so to know for sure what I'm looking at when I look at it, because they just said in that news article near Saddle Club and Miller Lake Roads. So when you look at it, it's very close to a lake. Either one that you pick, you know. I think I did a map basically from Saddle Club to Miller Lake. So it has a line, it's like south of Mount Vernon, up north of Mount Vernon, from one to the other. So I don't know, I guess, I don't know where the tip came from, but if that's It was in the area of the house that she was visiting with the two brothers and Jen.
Gotcha.
So they're still pretty tight-lipped about it. And as far as I know, like, that's literally the last news article I could find was from May 26, 2020. There was a whole lot of drama online with this stuff.
Okay. What was going on there?
Oh, like, you know, talking about, I guess there was a whole lot of affairs going on. There was speculation from people that said they knew details of it or about her private life, Beth's private life and Jen's private life, that there was multiple affairs going on and that Beth was being blackmailed by some of these other interests to stay quiet about the affairs that she was having or something. Other people that know her or claim to know her really well said that that wasn't the case, that she wouldn't do that. There was also rumors that she was pregnant at the time. Obviously we're dealing with somebody that had a lot of money, married to an attorney, I would assume. I mean, she had a Vera Bradley bag, a Gucci purse,
right.
Tiffany necklace. So that's not really out of the realm of possibility that someone would be blackmailing her for
what was her
financial gain.
Husband a suspect at any point, or
no? I don't believe he was. They have never ever said that he was a person of interest or anything.
Did he end up with somebody quickly after she was gone or anything like that?
No, I didn't find anything.
Gotcha. Because usually a lot of times that's the case. It's a big red flag whenever the person disappears and then they're already shacking up with somebody months later.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything about her husband, Scott. There was a whole lot of talk online about, I guess, Jen Wyatt. If you look at pictures of her, which we have a couple, we're going to put up, or one, I think.
This is what she looks like right here.
I can't really find any good pictures of her, except for the mugshot when she was charged with obstruction of justice. Obviously, Beth is like a beautiful woman. And then there's Jen, who isn't really same level. And there was a whole lot of talk online that prior to her getting super involved with Beth, she had like brunette hair, didn't dress provocatively at all, whereas Beth did, right? Like she was very beautiful. Dressed.
So we're talking single white female, maybe, kind of.
Yeah,
sorta,
possibly.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Like she started hanging out with her. Next thing you know, she looks just like her, has the same color hair, dressing the same.
Right, kind of like taking.
Which is,
over
I mean,
her
that's a normal when you get in circles. That's normal, but.
Yeah, but I guess there's a healthy threshold that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not speculating she was anything like Bridget Fonda. I'm just saying, or not Bridget Fonda. She was the good girl. Who was the other girl in Single White Female? Jennifer. Oh, what's her name? She was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Oh, that one.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Sorry, Shinfo.
Yeah. So, I don't know, maybe that was going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because,
well, you see so many cases where that's exactly what's going on.
Oh, for sure. So, I don't know if something happened. I don't know. There was things saying that she was messed up, that Beth was messed up with some junkies.
It's all that same speculation that goes on when somebody is missing. All the skeletons come out of the closet.
Yeah.
All the gossip on them.
Yeah, and I don't think that there's ever been any proof that Beth had a drug problem. Now, that's not to say that she wasn't hanging with people that had a drug problem.
Oh, yeah.
But.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It's interesting because it was close. I'd never heard about it before.
Yeah, I followed it since she went missing in 2010.
Okay.
And it was like I felt like she was never going to be found.
So it did have news coverage.
It did have news coverage, yeah, but like hardly any details, and I don't know if that has to do with her husband Scott being an attorney. He couldn't be reached for comment for most of these articles I found.
Oh.
He did give one statement when a news source reached out to him, and he was like, because of the ongoing investigation,
sure.
I can't
comment. Well, he's smarter than that anyway. You know, you see guys that just keep talking and talking, they get themselves into trouble, even if they didn't do anything wrong.
Anyway, I don't know.
Is that it?
That's that's pretty much it. Okay. There isn't a whole lot. She was found. Her remains were identified in 2019. And, like, literally, other than that, like, there's some clues here in these news articles that she was found near the same property where she was known to be spending time with those two brothers,
right?
And her friend Jen. So, but I couldn't find one article that said that they had identified suspects or persons of interest for this. So, they're being very tight-lipped about it, probably because they have an idea of who is responsible.
Yeah.
So they don't want to mess the case up, I would imagine.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's about it. If you have anybody watching this or any other Beth Bentley videos out there, you can submit a tip if you have one or have any information, even if you think it's like really tiny. It could be something that they need to finish this case out. Illinois Crime Stoppers 1-800-222-8477.
And real quick, this is Gigi, Georgia. This is her first podcast doing this.
Yeah, so be nice.
It'll get better as time goes on. We just wanted to pick something. She wanted to pick something that was local and just very limited. So before we get into longer cases or longer podcasts,
we're still trying to figure out how to develop this. So
figuring our way. So be nice in the comments if you have comments. But if you have any information or have any thoughts on this, let us know down in the comments. Eventually we'll be asking people to like and share and all that stuff that all the other YouTubers do. But for now, just bear with us. And thanks for watching.